Hello, and welcome to the third part of my Soul Silver Recount. If you haven't seen my other videos, I suggest you check them out. Links in the description. If you stumbled in here without knowing what's going on, I've been doing a Pokemon Soul Silver Recount for the penultimate and ultimate boss of the game, which would be Lance and Red respectively. The team that I've decided to go into the Red fight would be Steelix, Heracross, Tyranitar, Latios, Mewtwo, and Ho-Oh. For those really good Pokemon players, don't blame me for having two Psychic types. Please. At this point, I'll just be traversing through Mount Silver, so if you want to go to this timestamp here, it'll cut all the nonsense and you'll be able to see the Red battle. I'm not just gonna leave this here for nothing, so I'll talk about my Platinum Nuzlocke video. I've already finished the game, and I just need to edit the footage. To be fair, I've already read all the Pokemon Adventures manga, but after playing Platinum, my respect for the Diamond Pearl Platinum manga has tripled, and the Sinnoh region overall. That's why the first videos that I'm putting onto this remodeled YouTube channel is Soul Silver. Johto region is my second favorite region, and I've come to reappreciate Platinum. But my favorite game would probably have to be Emerald, because it's the first game I ever played. And before you ask, no, I didn't emulate that. I played it on a genuine GBA. But unfortunately, I can't find that GBA anymore, so I emulate games now. Speaking of Emerald, I have been thinking about doing oh boy, this is going to be a mouthful, a Pokemon Emerald Water Mono-type Nuzlocke. If you're looking forward to see that, I might do that after the Platinum video, I don't know. Oh, funny story, after editing this video, I actually realized that this could also be a walkthrough to how to get to Mount Silver in the Half Gold Soul Silver game, because the path is the same way. There is a place, far from here, beyond the Indigo Plateau, beyond the civilization we humans have built, where only the most dangerous Pokemon roam. All but the strongest and bravest avoid it, and even some of them rarely return. Their wild and savage nature best all but the mightiest, but it is said that those who survive the journey will come face to face with a mountain upon which the peak pierces the sky, a mountain that goes on for what seems like an eternity, and at its summit, he waits. He waits for those worthy enough merely to face him. He waits for those who dare believe they are flawless, only to be taught how mistaken they are. He humbles those who believe that just because they've bested the gyms, they are untouchable. He shows those who have attained the title of champion how empty that title is. His name is Red, and he does not lose. He brings out his Pikachu, his strongest Pokemon. I bring out Steelix, which Jasmine, the Steel-type gym leader, generously traded to me for any Pokemon. I actually would have brought out Tyranitar first if I didn't know Pikachu had Iron Tail, I wouldn't say this is one of the hardest fights in Pokemon, but I would say it's one of the most memorable. Also, please don't kill me for Steelix using Dig. I didn't know how to get Earthquake at the time, but I do now, so it's fine. If I didn't prepare for this battle, I would have felt like this battle was a Nuzlocke, because if I brought out my Tyranitar, I would have had one less Pokemon at the beginning. But I did take advantage of Steelix's Dig, so he wouldn't have to take more damage. Fortunately, it was a one-shot. As the Steelix is unfortunately buffeted by Hail, I'm given the pop-up that Blastoise is the next in line. After a quick think about it, I decided to switch out my Steelix for Latios. He brings out his Blastoise and the next round begins. My immediate thought was to use Shockwave to get in as much damage as possible. Blastoise is obviously tankier than I remember, and it didn't take as much damage. Unfortunately, it got in a Blizzard, which is 100% accuracy in Hail. To no one's surprise, it was a critical one-shot. I made the mistake of not bringing an Ice type to this battle, so I had to quickly remedy the situation. And after a hard think of it, I decided to bring in my Mewtwo. I do apologize for the lag here. Latios didn't have any special attack increases when it attacked, so I tried my luck in getting its special attack increase with Charge Beam. Fortunately, that did some damage, and I got the stat boost. But unfortunately, Blastoise immediately uses Blizzard. Unlike Latios, Mewtwo is not weak to Ice, so it didn't do as much damage as I thought it would. Who else gets pain when a trainer uses a full restore on their Pokemon when you're about to kill them? On top of that, the Charge Beam missed. To anyone who sees this, be they regular viewer or, if some extreme reason, a YouTuber, I would have put the TM Thunderbolt on Mewtwo if I had it, and I wasn't gonna go grind at the Celadon game corner for hours and hours on end. So let's just leave it at that. The battle gets fierce. Both sides have taken heavy damage. But the difference between my Mewtwo and his Blastoise is, I have an infinite amount of full restores. Spoiler alert, I only used 3 throughout the entire battle. I get a shiver down my spine when the Hydro Cannon hits. It's basically a Hyper Beam for water types. After dealing a whopping 243 damage, along with the Hail to drop my Mewtwo to 6 HP, but gets back to 22 with leftovers, I failed to take advantage of the Hydro Cannon's downside, being that the next turn the user had to recharge. After rewatching this moment, I came to the realization that I must have done this because I assumed that my Mewtwo was faster than the Blastoise, which it was, and I was able to get another kill on the team. His next Pokemon is a Snorlax, which I assumed to be a cinch because I had Focus Blast. Little did I know. After what I assumed had to be 1 HP, the Snorlax gets a crit one-shot crunch, then dies to Hail himself. After a hard thought, I decided that I should switch into Ho-Oh. A foolish choice that was. To this day, I still couldn't tell if the bot was being smart, or if the game was programmed to do this. Either way, Red had sent out Lapras. I made the decision to heal up one of my Pokemon because I knew that if Ho-Oh attacked Lapras, it would be futile. I'm only saying this now because I'm saying this after I finished the Red fight. I didn't make the best choices when I did this. Even though I'm making it sound like this is a Nuzlocke, it isn't. And when I was playing this, I wasn't exactly on the best mindset. Wasn't thinking straight, and I didn't know what I was doing by sending Ho-Oh into a Lapras. Needless to say, Ho-Oh died. I tried to fix my error by switching into Heracross. And by using a fighting type move, I was able to kill the Lapras. Thinking back, I probably should have brought in a Pokemon that was immune to the hail. Oh, and yes, I know that switch mode is for babies. But this was before I was playing my first Nuzlocke. And I didn't really know what to expect when I was fighting Red, so insert some lame excuse here. So anyway, I switched into Tyranitar when he sent out Charizard. Not only did the Sandstorm proc off, I was betting on the fact that the Stone Edge would hit. For those who don't know, Stone Edge is an 120 damaging, 85 accuracy move. Fortunately, the Stone Edge hit, and it was a one-shot. Now his last Pokemon was left, Venusaur. I knew that I would have to switch out Tyranitar immediately, so without hesitation, I switched into my Mewtwo, hoping that I could deal the most amount of damage. Out comes his Venusaur. I immediately used Psychic to try to one-shot it. Unfortunately, I could not do that, and I sent him into Overgrow. For those who don't know, Overgrow is an ability that all Grass-type starters have, and what it does is, it gives 50% power boost to all Grass-type moves. At this point, I realized there was only one way I could win. If Venusaur used Frenzy Plant on one of my Pokemon, I could finally get in the Psychic on Mewtwo and beat Red. For those who don't know, Frenzy Plant is just a Grass-type Hyper Beam. It does 150 damage, has 90% accuracy, and the Pokemon must recharge the turn after Frenzy Plant was used. And by used, I mean if Frenzy Plant hits the opponent's Pokemon. I realized that I was gonna have to switch into Mewtwo after he used the Frenzy Plant, because it doesn't look like he was gonna use it anytime soon. So, I have to sacrifice my other Pokemon in order for him to proc the Frenzy Plant. The only way I can win now is if I wait for a 1 in 4 chance for the bot to use Frenzy Plant. While I had my Heracross out, I would at least try to get my Heracross to get in some Aerial Ace hits. But alas, all I was doing was just sending Venusaur into Overgrow range. After some thinking, I realized that I would have to sacrifice my Tyranitar. Because, it being a Rock type, it's weak to Venusaur's Grass-type moves, and I was hoping that Venusaur would use Frenzy Plant to try kill the Tyranitar one-shot. And thankfully, my bet was correct. It had used the Frenzy Plant on Tyranitar because it saw the kill, and my Tyranitar died. And here we are. Controversially seen as one of the most memorable battles in all of Pokemon. And I've beaten it. The last 2 Pokemon on my team, Steelix and Mewtwo, standing proud as we have beaten potentially the strongest trainer of all time, Red. And that's the Red fight. Everything now I consider to be the post game, because if the Kanto gyms were the post game, then there's still more post game. Cut the credits, just to make it short. After I mysteriously spawned back into my house, I headed back out to check out what else I could do. And the first thing I thought of was, I could head to Pallet Town, because I searched up prior to the Red battle that, if you beat Red, you can talk to Oak and you can get one of the Kanto starters. Getting one of the Hoenn starters, Beldum, and Groudon was only some of the few things that I could do in my post game. After arriving in Pallet Town, I quickly rushed to Professor Oak's lab to get my Kanto starter. I already knew what choice I was going to make. It was quite obvious, because it's the starter I choose whenever I play all Kanto games. None other than Bulbasaur. I can even tell you why I choose Bulbasaur every time I play a Kanto game. I choose it for a few reasons actually. Firstly, Bulbasaur is best equipped to beat the first and second gyms. obviously being rock and water. Evolving on that reason, Squirtle can beat the first gym easily, but not the second. It would only be neutral damage. And Charizard, being as overrated as it is, doesn't do well on the first 3 gyms at all. Rock, water, and electric are the 3 things that Charizard and its evolutionary line are weak to. It doesn't even do well until the 4th gym, and that's only when it's good at. I could go on a whole rant about how Charizard or Charmander would be my last choice in a Kanto run, but I'm not going to do that. I arrive in Silphco because I'm here to talk to none other than Steven Stone, who will give me one of the 3 Hoenn starters, being Trico, Torchic, or Mudkip. For those who have never played Heart Gold Soul Silver, this might be a strange experience for you, but Steven asks you what colored stones you would choose, and just so happened that red, blue, and green happen to be the legendaries of the Hoenn region, red for Groudon, blue for Kyogre, and green for Rayquaza. But what it actually means, you get to choose one of the starters of the Hoenn region, and I choose blue, being Mudkip. Again, Mudkip would be something that I choose in every Hoenn game that I play, because Swampert is a water ground type, and in a game where there are no grass gyms, and there are only 2 grass type Pokemon that I need to worry about, being the rival and some random trainer, Swampert is the best choice for a Hoenn run, even when there are so many water types that you could choose from. I'm probably biased to Swampert because not only was Emerald my first ever Pokemon game, Mudkip was my starter choice for Pokemon Brick Bronze. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's a Roblox game that shut down because of copyright reasons. But let me tell you from experience, and a lot of people can say this, Pokemon Brick Bronze was an extremely good game. I won't go into specifics. My next destination was Pewter City, because I can talk to Steven Stone again, and I can trade a Beldum for my Fortress. Because if you don't know, Fortress is a Bug Steel type in the Johto region that actually can't be found in the Hoenn region. So, that's his explanation for why he wants a Fortress. But, it's a Beldum, why wouldn't I take it? Metagross is very strong, very powerful, and something that I would have wanted in the post-game when I went to fight Red. But that doesn't matter. After heading into the Pewter City Museum, I find Steven Stone. And he doesn't trade me anything. The weird thing about this is Steven Stone doesn't actually trade you in the Pewter Museum. You have to go back to Saffron and then trade him. After I picked up my Kabuto that I dropped off into the Pewter City Museum, I revived it and quickly got out of there. All I had to do now was fly back to Saffron City and trade the Fortress. I quickly ran into Saffron's seafood building and saw Steven waiting there for me already. So anyway, I caught a growl. I caught a growl. Thank you. I caught a Groudon. After the trade, Steven explains that you can't find Fortress in the Hoenn region. He leaves, both of us happy. So to recap, I have beaten Red, gotten a Bulbasaur, Kabuto, and a Mudkip. I fly into Victory Road to do one last check of my box, to see every Pokemon I've caught. To see, once again, the Pokemon that have all put in the hard work to get me this far, to beat the Elite Four twice, beating Red, and finishing the game. Ah yes, Entei, believe it or not, I actually caught on my first fastball, on full HP, which is probably my greatest attempt on catching a legendary to date. Steelix, Heracross, Tyranitar, Mewtwo. Those Pokemon, along with Ho-Oh and Latios, helped me get this far. I'm grateful for everything they've all done for me, even though they're just creatures. Well, I think that'll be it for the end of the video. Thank you for staying and watching until the end. I, once again, do deeply apologize for the fact that I haven't been uploading recently. I didn't want this to happen, but yeah, you can't control life. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next month.